What was I going to say?
I think WNBA.
Yeah, the WNBA.
Now.
I don't know if it's profitable. Like when Caitlin Clark joined the league, its revenue went through the roof, but its expenses did too. Like they expanded on it. It's profitable now.
So they just reached a major milestone. Apparently now they have enough income to trigger the league's first ever player revenue sharing pool.
Ooh.
So the first time profit markers, the league met target growth, triggered $8 million payout pool for players under revenue sharing rules, alongside over $9 million in licensing and merchandise revenue. This is such small potatoes. Like if you heard that there was a guy on an NBA team making $8 or $9 million himself, you'd be like, I guess he sits on the bench a lot. Like it's and they're bragging about their $8 million profit. Yeah, it's mostly unprofitable. And the thing that, like, every time I've watched highlights from it, I just see people beating up Caitlin Clark and the league letting them get away with it.
Yeah, it seems pretty mean.
Highlights are pretty misleading, but they really seem racist against her and Sophie Cunningham. Yeah, that woman. Remember Sophie Cunningham ripped that woman down after they hit Caitlin Clark? It went wild. Everyone loved it. The opposite happened. Sophie Cunningham was on the receiving end. And then the player got ejected. She got a flagrant 2, which means flagrant 2. It didn't smell good.
Fragrant 2.
And they kicked her out of the game immediately. And she's in the locker room tweeting #white privilege. And she claims that wasn't about the foul. I don't know how she gets away with that, but like she basically beat up Sophie Cunningham, called it white privilege. I don't get it.
I don't get it either. Seems like, was that the one where it's like Sophie Cunningham is coming down the court like to put on just a master class of WNBA layup, and then that lady comes behind her and just like does a cross face. Like if you ever did wrestling, you remember like the cross face thing. You like grind your wrist into her nose a little bit. Yeah,
I remember her grabbing the back of her head and pulling her down, but I'm not confident enough to say you have it wrong or they're different plays.
I thought so. I'm also not. I don't have my finger on the pulse of this sport. I don't even care about the good basketball league, much less the, this Candyland who gives a fuck, pretend one. But it does seem like they've really squandered that Caitlin Clark girl because nobody gave a fuck about this. And now the small pittance of people who do give a fuck started giving a fuck because she joined the league and was like apparently going gangbusters on it, and then the whole league is just beating her up, and the refs are like, whatever, you can't protect our Gretzky.
Taylor was right. She definitely was behind with a crossface. I don't know what play I was thinking of.
It's bigger than their Gretzky. There's no, I don't know who else. Maybe you could compare it to someone like the way that Ronda Rousey brought like her sport into the mainstream and exposed it to a brand new audience of people. She's the Ronda Rousey or something like that of her sport. Someone who transcends the whole sport and does. Why is it? We know what she looks like. We know who Caitlin Clark is. Like that alone is the thing. Like she's in those Allstate commercials. She's clearly incredibly talented.
Yeah. How many players her age or younger are her type of famous? Like, what is she, 23? How many under 23-year-old NBA players can you name? Like, you can name LeBron, like guys who've been stars for a decade. You may have heard of Steph Curry, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But, have you heard of freaking Tyrese Maxey? He's 25, I think.
Nope.
Right? No. That's like, he's like maybe the most famous 25-year-old NBA player. He's a Sixer, so I could be biased. But Anthony Edwards, do you know him?
I don't know any NBA
I don't know
players.
Any of them.
If we played a game called Name NBA Players, I'd get to like 4.
Okay, I could do one. You've heard of Victor Wembanyama, I'm sure, the super tall guy.
I didn't know his name was
France. Victor. Okay, all right. But you know Caitlin Clark's first and last name. That says something about her level of fame. I have too. I have too in the shower, right?
Yeah, I think deep.
Yeah, I think she was in college at the time.
Kyle's looking at it, he's like, what is it? She's a basketball player or some shit? Like, just you don't even know that part of it at all.
Yeah. She was like a racing stripe.
I was just leering at women.
I know it was her. I just figured, University of Indiana, it's cool.
The head of WNBA marketing is like shitting the bed so bad with her. It's like,
yes,
you realize this is kind of your golden goose. Like you should be doing like putting her on the trying to like get a deal with, I don't know who makes those NBA video games. See if you can get her to be a big promoter of that. Get a new market of people to play those.
If you looked across the entire NBA, she'd be a top 5 player, right? This is my understanding of it. She's a top 5 player. Is she the best in the league? No, but she's really good. If you looked at her position, there's a strong argument for she's the number 1 player. When her like fellow players were voting about All-Star, they put her as the 11th best at her position. You racist fucks.
Yeah, they just hate her. They just don't like that she's white. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I try not to like throw racism out there. This, like the people who criticize Israel suddenly are anti-Semite. You're like, no, I'm talking about the actions of the Israeli government. It doesn't matter if they're what who they are. And I try not to just be like, oh, if you don't like Caitlyn, you're obviously racist. But it's everything. Every sign points to the same place.
Yeah. Yeah, it does seem to be that, but they're squandering their golden goose. They're going to go back to irrelevancy.
Yeah, they're fine with that. They would rather have less eyes than have all these white eyes that don't want to watch them play anyway.
Even with the money?
They want the money, but they don't. There's a complete disconnect between getting the money and earning the money for them.
Yeah, yeah, and I guess the money isn't a big deal because they're like, oh, the NBA will just pay for it again. Like, who cares? Like they
just get a huge pay raise, like 10x maybe, like a big deal.
Yeah.
And that's really off the strength of what Caitlin Clark is doing for their league-wide revenues.
Totally, it totally is. She no other athlete has done what she's done. Like I mentioned Ronda Rousey because that's the closest thing.
Right.
All of a sudden you had a women's MMA star, couldn't name another one, on Howard Stern, on The Tonight Show, in movies, on Sports Illustrated covers, like lifting the sport up a little bit. She totally lifted the sport up and put it on her shoulders for them to, like, what is it, 2-3 years after her being in the league, now the entire league gets a raise? Mm-hmm. That's crazy. That's a huge.
Do you think Ronda Rousey was super hot?
For what she was doing.
I thought she was very attractive. You've seen the Sports Illustrated outtakes where it's just full frontal nudity, I'm sure.
Sure.
She's pretty hot. I mean, you can see her vagina. But she also has like masculine features, and if you watch her talk enough, doing like enough interviews and enough, especially the interviews or times when she's on camera, like on her farm, just like doing stuff. I don't like her personality. Like she
what about
seems
it?
like it's kind of masculine and rough, and it's kind of
fighter.
It's very I
see her differently. I see her as catty and bitchy, not necessarily masculine. When she's around, who was the far hotter person who she kept armbarring? Misha Tate. Yeah. When she was anywhere near Misha Tate, oh my God, she turned into the biggest high school mean girl ever. And it was a huge turnoff for me. And she's low class. I mean, she's super rich, but I think she was raised in a really low class way. And that turns me off. She's just gruff and bitchy, bully, gruff. Mountain woman. And like,
this is what I said.
But it leaves out the cattiness that she has in her too.
The cattiness I think makes total sense though, because she's this rising star, way more talented than the rest of the competition. And then she would see those other girls get attention and get money, and I'm sure get during that time especially get sponsors because they're just prettier. Like there's no way, if you're a kind of pretty girl and in that sport, if you're Ronda Rousey, she's this perfect little exception where, okay, she's the best physically, she's the most talented, and she's like pretty hot. There are definitely hotter ones. If she sees people who are that much less talented than her getting anything that she wanted, she's going to be super catty. And she was pretty at times. Like I said, she's in movies. She's all over my TV for a long time. She's incredibly physically fit. I didn't think she was. All the things you listed turned me off about her too. And she also kind of has like a round, masculine, mannish face.
See, I didn't see it as masculine, but I do think she's puffy. between fights.
Yeah.
Her deltoids lose all definition, and she just turns into this puffy, like almost, I don't want to say non-athlete because it's there, but almost like a country strong.
Agreed on all points. Yeah. She when she's in Olympian mode, she looks classy and elegant almost. But any other time, when you see her on that fucking farm of hers, like milking the goats, it's like, oh God.
Is she still married to Travis Brown?
I believe they have some sort of ranch in Cali or somewhere in that area, and they've got like all sorts of stuff. I remember seeing like water purifying systems and all sorts of. It looked like they could live off this farm.
Damn.
Like, definitely.
Well, I guess they got to think. Travis Brown, if you don't know, is a heavyweight fighter. He was not very liked, but Travis, I know you might have thought I just said shit about your wife. Definitely didn't. That was someone else who looks like me. You
bring it, Travis. You've got so much CTE, you'll forget which one of us said it.
He'll take a picture. He'll have it on his phone. He'll show up and just
Travis, I like to do all my fighting over Twitter. Come at me.
6'7", 254. I like your chances, boys. Like,
yeah, you add us together, we're like 12 feet tall and close to 500 pounds. Get out of here. We got this guy.
She need a giant trench coat. Maybe
we're basically a gorilla. Like, you put me and Woody together inside a gorilla suit. I've got the right arm. And he's got the left arm, and we're just wedged in there together. And then we face off against Travis Brown in the gorilla suit.
How's that gonna? That's gonna make it so much harder.
I hope he's not gay, because we're in trouble.
Taylor. We would have had a much better shot outside the suit.
Which one of us is the butt in the suit? Because I don't want to be that one.
One of you's trying to like look through the mesh part of the mouth like a Disney World like mascot.
No, it's hyper realistic. I need him to fear that we're a gorilla at first until we like fall immediately.
Yeah, until we do that like 3-legged walk.
3 stitches. Yeah. Damn. Well, they are still married according to Wikipedia.
Okay. Well, good for them.
But I hope they have children, and they're giant masculine children. Oh, she was pregnant like a year or two ago, so they did that. Did she have a boy or a girl? Let's see.
I don't know. It says he's got 3 kids, and her section doesn't have kids on it. And now I have to like click into the fucking full article and see how many.
She has 2 daughters with her husband, Travis Brown. They both have stupid made-up names that I'm not going to attempt. Literally, they sound like Hawaiian national park names.
Here's my suggestion.
La Kukikakawa.
Travis Brown and Ronda Rousey's offspring need a basketball, and they can go in there and be enforcers. Let them try to pick on her the way they do Caitlin Clark. Ronda Rousey's kid will not suffer fools.